What's going on, YouTube? My name is Opan, and I have 5 tips to help you mix more efficiently in Cakewalk. Let's get into it. The first tip, Cakewalk is highly customizable, a lot of modular features. For instance, you have this here on your left. My camera's in the way there a little bit. You have this here on the left. This is your inspector features here. And you can get rid of that by pressing I. So if you go ahead and press I, that'll get rid of that. On the right here, you have a shortcut B to get rid of that on that side, to give you more room to be able to mix in. But also you can move those around. If I want to take this, I could just have it freestanding to where it's like this, and I can open it up and access all my plugins from here. My MIDI are my MIDI are instruments. I could just have it sitting here and throw in plugins from here if that's what I choose to do. Or obviously you can throw in your plugins from the FX channel right there. So that's pretty convenient. I like mine though to sit in here. You can also put it down here and have it to be here, so you can access your plugins from down here as well. And if you hit Shift, that you can minimize it and bring that up by hitting D. And if you hit Shift D, it'll do full screen, and Shift D will take it back to half screen, D for it to go away. So we're going to go ahead and put that back on the left there. Another module you can manipulate is C. That will get rid of this here at the top, all your controls here. And if you look here, this is the control bar at the top. You can also minimize that, or you can pull that out and you can throw it here on the bottom. And there you can operate it from the bottom there. Or you can just have it freestanding if that's how you want to use it. You can still operate everything from there. And you can also, I'm going to put it back here at the top. You can hit Shift C, and that will minimize it, and you can use those functions like that. So those are your modules. All right, for the next tip, we're going to talk about exporting clips. So we're going to go back here, and obviously if I hit Control A, I can export the whole song here, right? The entire mix. Or I can export just the tracks. Let's say I don't want to export the beat. I can take that out, export just everything else but the beat. But normally you're going to export the entire mix. Well, let's say there's an instance where you want to send just a sample or something. Or let's say you want to export just this part of the beat. So let's solo this. Let's say I just want to export just this clip here, right? If I just want to export this, let's say I'm trying to take that, send it to another session so I can edit it outside of this, or if I want to turn this into a sample and put it into a MIDI pack or a sample pack, I only want to export just this one sound. So what I'll do is I will cut this up. So I just have this clip. I'll right click, rename it. I'll just name it Kick, YouTube Kick, right? And then when I go to export, there under File, I can export and name this YouTube clip. And then go to Clips, and then it'll export that clip that is currently highlighted there. And there it is. right? And it only exports just that section. And that is how you export a clip. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick break to remind you to subscribe and comment and share. My goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers in 6 months. If I can accomplish that, one of you guys will get a free microphone on month 6 of this channel's existence. One free budget microphone. So subscribe. Making a template. All right, let's say I want to use this song and this project as a template for future songs. Obviously, I don't want every project to start off with all these vocals here, but I do like the color coding, how everything is routed, and the plugins that are on the main vocal. I want to use that same template with every new project. So I'm just going to get rid of all of that since I don't need that for every new song. I'm going to hit F so everything is equal. All these are the same size. I don't have just random F. The key F, letter key F on your keyboard will make everything fit into the screen. Then I'll go to File, Save As. Under Save As type, you're going to save it as a template type, and then you're going to have it route to the template part the folder, and then you'll see all the other templates there. And then when you go ahead and save that, which I'm not going to do, but once you save that, when you go back to your start screen and you go to your new projects, you'll have all the templates that come with Cakewalk, including your new template, which will be mine is called Opan Studios. You can also make a beat template, female vocal template. They'll all get added in this section here. All right, tip 4, and this is how you're going to be able to move your plugins from one track to another easy. All right, so here we have a song here. Here's my main verse, and let's say I want to move this part of the verse down to this track here. Now this is a brand new track. It has no plugins on it just yet. I want all these plugins here. I can do this in 3 different ways, one of those being the hardest way. If I hold down Control, I can move each one of these plugins one by one and copy and paste those plugins here. Another way I can do that, I'm going to delete all that. Another way I can do that is if I highlight track 3 and then I can right click here, duplicate track, enter, and then it will duplicate that track with all those same plugins, and I can move this here, and then that way it has the same effects. Another way I can do that, I'm going to delete this. Another way I can do that is to highlight track 3 and then just go up here and hit duplicate, and then it'll do the same thing. It'll duplicate that track for me so that I can move this portion of the track down here with the same plugins. The last way we can copy all these effects or these plugins is if I right click in the FX area, I can go to convert FX rack to FX chain, and then I'll put all those effects into this Cakewalk chain, and I can still manipulate them. I can change things around, move the plugins in a different order, and then I can just hit Control and drag that whole chain into here, into the next one, and then all those plugins will be right there. All right, so for the 5th tip and how to mix easier in Cakewalk, we are going to snap to grid. This is very useful when you're moving around and editing in your session. You want to move clips around, but you don't want it to fall off time. You're going to want these grids, these grid lines, and it shows you every measure. So this is a measure of 4. This is a measure here. And that way you can move things around easier within the session here. So it's going to look like this originally. It's going to look like this with no grid lines. So if I want to move something, so for instance, in this part of the beat, I wanted to edit the beat to go better with the song. So it sounds like this.
Ain't no ballerina, not one.
Right? So if I wanted to do that without grid lines, I really wouldn't know where to move this kick for it to be on beat. If I were to do this, for example, I take this, I cut it, I duplicate it twice, I move it down here. Without grid lines, it's kind of hard to figure out where to put this on the measure. So you see how it's off beat? Well, grid lines help me to be able to do that. So this is how you get your grid lines. You go to your view menu up here, display, then I'm going to go to vertical grid lines, and I'm going to do in front of clips. And then if you want to view your grid lines, right now these are eighth notes. I can right click here and go to 16, so forth. It'll show me the whole notes. For this, we're going to do 16. And then you're going to want your snap to be highlighted. You can do that by pressing the N key on your keyboard. That way it snaps to the grid. And then I can take this and move it a lot easier into place. So now, So now it's on the grid and on beat. And that is how you snap to the grid. I'm going to show you also a bonus tip, which is how to get the BPM to be correct for your beat. So I'm going to open up a new session and throw in a new beat. All right, so here we have a new session. We're going to get a beat. So here I have these beats here. I'm just going to pick this one. And currently, this beat is not at the right, the Cakewalk does not have this beat in the right tempo. We're going to go to Project, Insert Tempo Change, and then we can click that with our mouse once, and then use our space bar on the beat, along with the beat. So let me show you what that looks like. Right, so I was getting around 80, and now when we look at this again, I zoom in here and look at it again, and now you can see it lines up pretty well here on beat. See that there? How it's like snapping to every line there, those high waveforms. So that is how you find the tempo and the BPM. And those all together are 5 tips on helping you mix more efficiently in Cakewalk. Thanks for watching.
You don't wanna know what get into me. Feel it course through my veins like Sa. Bar clash with a hat like Ta.